Hello traders, welcome to the live stream. Trader Tom here. Yeah, welcome. Hope you're all well. Hope you're having a good trading day. Would you like to know the plan of attack for the live stream? Well, first of all, I'm going to show you a couple of trades that I am in. All right, and a couple of them are Canadian dollar pairs. So I'm going to show you exactly what I'm going to do before the news comes out. Then we're going to look at the news, right? See what news we've got coming out. We've got CAD CPI. And then we're going to take as many of your questions as we can, guys. All right. So don't be shy. Ask as many questions as you like about anything to do with trading. Let me just bring up the live chat so I can see everyone. Right. We've already got some questions in. So this is good. Gabe's, Scoo, I will answer your questions shortly. So yeah, let's just take a quick look at the economic calendar. Before I do, I have just eaten an alarming amount of biscuits. I really have. I feel quite sick. But yeah, this is the big news coming out, guys. So not only do we have US dollar news, right? So 3-star ratings here. We've got some core retail sales and retail sales. We've also got, let me refresh this page. We've also got, yeah, in just half past the hour, we've got this CPI news coming out of Canada as well. All right, so we are going to do the following with the Canadian dollar trades that I am in, right? So I am in Canadian dollar Swiss franc, right? You can see all of my trades here, guys, right? So I put all of my trades in here. Okay, so you can see here, this is the VIP membership, guys, Trading Academy. You can see I'm in a Canadian dollar Swiss franc sell, which I closed some profit today. I'm also in an Aussie dollar Canadian dollar buy here. I'm also in a euro pound sell. So these are the trades that I'm in. I put all of my entries, targets, stop losses, everything in the VIP Trading Academy. So come join it. So Canadian dollar Swiss franc, right? If we look at the H4, guys, right? We've got news coming out. So once we got down to this support level, I closed 60%, okay? So as a trader, not only do you need to obviously trade your strategy, right? As in your entry, etc. Focus on money and risk management and obviously your psychology, but you do need to manage trades, right? This is a thing that perhaps gets a little bit overlooked. So this is what I'm doing, guys. I am managing a trade, right? So I've taken 60% off. I will move my stop loss to break even, right? So I entered here. I'm going to move my stop loss to here and we will see what happens to this trade. So I have a risk-free trade right now with Canadian dollar Swiss franc, okay? After the news, guys, if price shoots up, no problem. Yeah, I've already taken 60% off this trade. If price starts flying down, this is the best scenario. Happy days, I'm going to let 40% run. All right, so that's where we are with Canadian dollar Swiss franc. I'm also in Aussie dollar Swiss franc. You'll see from the trades there, guys. And I want to, well, I am buying this, right? So why did I want to buy it? So if we look at the day chart, guys, right, we have got an uptrend, right? You can clearly see that, okay? But also, right, you know, this candle isn't particularly bullish, right? But price just retraced to such a nice area. Yeah, and we can see that on the H4, right? So if you look at this trend line, yeah, look how price keeps respecting this trend line. Okay, and here we are at the trend line as well. Okay, so it's just a really nice area. If we look at the H1, I got in on this candle here. So I basically entered here, got a little bit of a retrace, and my stop is below here. All right, because these are those last H4 lows. All right, and then with this one, guys, what I'm going to do is just move my stop loss up a little bit. Yeah, give it a little bit of room to play out. But I'm just going to move my stop loss up to here. I've already done that. okay, because we've got CAD news coming out, okay? And all I've really done, guys, is reduce my risk by around 10 pips, okay? But that is about a third of the trade, right? So I've reduced my risk by 0.33% roughly, right? And that's where we are. That's where we are with the Canadian dollar pairs. And yeah, and still in euro pound as well, guys. All right. So we're still in euro pound and we're looking for sells. Yeah, this is found a bit of, you know, potential higher low here. Price starts breaking this. Not interested, guys. We want to see a reaction from here. All right, guys. So they're the trades I'm in. That's my plan of attack for when Canadian dollar CPI news comes out. And also remember, guys, we're looking at US dollar, Canadian dollar. Now, those of you that are new to the channel, we have a strategy called the news straddle, right? So when the news comes out, I'm already in enough Canadian dollar pairs, right? But when news comes out, guys, we've got US dollar, Canadian news coming out. We could potentially do a buy order here, sell order here, and then let's see what happens to price. All right, so we'll keep an eye on US dollar, Canadian dollar when that news comes out, because I want to buy this pair, right? So yeah, we'll see what happens. The problem with news is, guys, and if I want to buy this pair, sometimes it just goes flying up here, yeah, and I don't have a trade. But if price takes it down into this grey zone, right, this could be interesting, right, for a potential buy. Because if we look at the H4, yeah, I just want a bit of a retrace. Maybe the news will give it the retrace we need, and then we can start buying from here. We'll see. We'll see how the news reacts. So that's me, guys. Right, let's take a look, see who is in the house. Michael, afternoon. Colin, how are you? Brett, good day, Brett. Skelts, how are you, mate? Hello. Right, Gabe's Scoo 001. Your name is not easy to pronounce. Hey, Tom, what do you think about gold? Right, let's take a look at gold. And also, guys, any of you, if you've got any questions, don't be afraid to ask. Don't be shy. Come say hello. Ask as many questions as you like. I am all yours for the next 40 minutes or so. Hello, Greg and Kibria. How are you guys? Let's take a look at gold. So the problem with gold is this, right? Look at the weekly chart. So what we are in with the weekly chart on gold is an uptrend stroke range, right? And we have been ranging from here to here, okay? Now, let's stay on the weekly chart. If you think about that, right, where can we take trades, right? So right now, I do not want to buy this pair, yeah, because I do not want to buy into resistance. We know there are sellers in here. So I don't want to buy this trade, okay, this commodity. And also, guys, I don't want to sell it, yeah, because we're in a uptrend stroke range. And just look how bullish these candles are, right? I don't want to buy that. I don't want to sell it or buy it at the moment. So let's stick with the weekly chart. So when will I become interested? So two ways. You've got two options with this trend and this structure, right? And they are the following, okay? So we're in this range. So the first scenario is we get a weekly candle that breaks through this level. And this could be any time frame, guys. Yeah, the same logic applies, right? Let's say we get a nice big bullish green candle, right, that breaks all of these highs in here. We could look for buys from that level, okay? Or the other scenario is we get a retrace back down to the bottom of this range. Let's drag this gray zone across, all right? And then we get a bullish reaction at the bottom of this range. We can also look for buys. So that's what I will be waiting for with gold. One of those two scenarios to play out. Let's take a look at the day chart, right? And you can see we've got a bit of a rejection yesterday. It'll be interesting to see what happens today, right? And also, guys, bear in mind we've got retail sales in just under 20 minutes, all right? And gold is against the US dollar, right? So we've got US dollar news coming out. Retail sales may push it higher, may push it lower. We shall see. All right. So I wouldn't be trading gold at all until that news comes out. And then also I want to see one of those two scenarios happen. So yeah, there you go, Gabes. Hope that helps. Offman, hi, how are you? What else have we got here? US dollar, Swiss franc. Okay, let's take a look at US dollar, Swiss franc as well. And guys, if you enjoy my analysis, enjoy the live stream, then please come subscribe to the channel and smash the notification button. And if everyone could please smash the like button right now, I'm going to have a quick drink. Right, US dollar, Swiss franc. Let's take a look at this one. So this is really this is like weekly versus daily. All right, so let me show you what I mean. So on the weekly chart, we have a wonderful, wonderful weekly setup, right? We do. Yeah, we was in this uptrend and then price kind of ranged and then it broke. Yeah, it didn't make higher highs and then it broke these lows. So on the weekly chart, as soon as we break that low, we are in a downtrend, okay? Because we're getting lower lows. That is the definition of a downtrend, right? And now price has retraced, yeah? And then what was once support becomes resistance, yeah? And if I zoom in now, guys, look at the reaction we got at that last area of resistance. We got a beautiful weekly bearish candle. We're below the moving average 20. So this weekly chart, everything is telling me we can sell this back down to these lows, right? And this 8,900 psychological level. So looking at the weekly chart, that is a very beautiful, more beautiful than Gal Gadot sell setup, right? Now, if we look at the day chart, okay, what are we seeing here? We're seeing scruffy price action, although we are still in an uptrend, right? Because if we follow just the highs and lows of the market, this is where we're at, okay? And we haven't broken that low, right? It's not broken. So, arguably we're in an uptrend. Higher highs, higher lows, but we are also making lower highs, okay? So is this a clue that price is potentially going to break down and carry on with that weekly direction that I like? Yeah, so this is looking like that weekly direction could play out because we're getting these lower highs. That is a clue. Right. And, your job is like Sherlock Holmes. You need to look at the charts, find all the clues and make sense of them. Right. So these lower highs are a clue. The problem is this big wick. Right. This is quite misleading because, if we broke that, there's no room anyway. So if you're going to take sells, so I would sell US dollar, Swiss franc on what I've just seen there. And if we drop down to the H4, we've got a little bit of indecision here, right? There's clearly a level through here, which we will add in, right? And then there's a bit of a level through here, okay? And that's that large daily wick, right? As you can see, it's just made price action a little bit scruffy and less easy to read, right? But ultimately, I would be looking for sells, right? We're at the top of this range, and I would aim for sells to the bottom of this range, right? Again, we've got retail sales coming out in a little while, but I would sell US dollar Swiss franc. Yeah. I also like Canadian dollar Swiss franc, hence I'm in that trade, right? So with that supports our Swiss franc strength idea, this chart as well. So that's where we're at. Yeah, look, we're getting a nice bearish reaction at those highs as we speak. If we look at the H1, interesting, right? I mean, yeah, look, again, it's a little bit scruffy, right? If we started following, we've got this overnight price action, it broke, it retest, we haven't broken these highs. H1 is really in a downtrend. And we've had a nice bearish candle. Again, that could be a potential sell right now, back down to here. But I'd have to put my stop up here. But, you know, if we entered here, put our stop here, took profit here, we get our 1:1, which is really the minimum we're looking for. All right. So, yeah, that could work as a potential trade for sales. But we have retail sales coming out. So why don't trade into news? I happen to be in trades, right? I'm not trading into news. I happen to be in trades. So we'll see how, yeah, the CAD CPI news plays out. Right, who else have we got in the house? Guys, also, if I could just mention, if you haven't already, if you would like to speak to like-minded traders, share knowledge, ideas, have a chit-chat, then please come join our free Discord trading community. If you would like more than that, and you would like all of my trade signals, numerous tutorials to learn from, and you would like direct access to me where you can ask me questions, then please come join the VIP Trading Academy. And also, guys, right now, if you sign up with one of our preferred brokers, you can get access to these things, all right, with discounts, etc. So check it all out. It's all in the video description, and I'm sure the editor is putting links. What else did we want to look at here? Right, so we want to look at the NAS. I always think of the gangster rapper, Nas, who is an excellent gangster rapper, by the way. Yeah, brilliant. Get Down. Check out the album Get Down by Nas. It's brilliant. But Brett, I am aware that you mean the NASDAQ. Now, let's just start with the weekly chart, right? Things are very overbought, right? You don't need me to tell you that on pretty much a lot of the indices, right? Some of them are at all-time highs, etc. Now, this is overbought, right? We've had this real bullish rally, okay? And sellers have entered the market, right? They have. Yeah. Are sellers strong enough to start pushing this down? We don't know, right? What I would want to see is a daily structure break, right? Which we haven't seen yet. But weekly chart, right? We would normally want to buy this, okay? Okay, so US dollar, Canadian dollars at a level I would like to buy, but we've got news coming out, so I'm going to ignore that alarm. Yeah, we're at weekly, we're in an uptrend, right? But we're very overbought, so I don't want to keep buying this. There's no value up here. Yeah, if price retraced into here, then yeah, tick. I would potentially start buying the dips, but there hasn't been a dip. Okay, so a little bit overbought. Sellers are there. Let's not say they're in control, but they're there. If we look at the day chart now, again, like we are in a daily uptrend, right? There's no ifs and buts, right? We're kind of here at the moment. So really, you know, this potentially here could be a really nice entry for buys, right? Back at the moving average 20, what was once resistance here becomes support. Okay, so if I was to look for buys on the NASDAQ, I don't want to buy this currently, right? Why don't I want to buy it? Because look at that candle and look at those wicks. that is all selling pressure, right? Just selling pressure for the last 3 days, okay? Which suggests it could make its way back down to this level. Then once we get to this level, I may be interested for buying. Yeah, if we get a nice bullish reaction, something like this at that level, you know, I would consider buying back up to here, you know, maybe leave some profit to run. And ultimately, guys, we want to buy the indices because they're all in uptrends. You've got the weekly uptrend, daily uptrend. So we want to buy the indices. They're just not at a level for buying. If anything, they're at a level for retracing. Okay, we still have a bit of room back to this moving average 20. And just look how, you know, good the moving average 20 is, right? It's not an exact science, but price wants to come back to the moving average 20. It's the mean, it's the average of the chart, right? So, you know, even when it leaves it all the way up here, it wants to come back. Right? It leaves it all the way up here, still leaves it, it still wants to come back. So this would suggest this wants to come back too. All right. So if anything, I wouldn't do it, but I would have an against trend trade. Yeah, I would look to sell this. But let's have a look at H4. Let's see what other clues we've got. So yeah, H4 has broken down. Right, clearly, if we take that as the last low, right, this is where we're at, and then we're just like that, right? We're in a bit of a area where buyers and sellers don't know what to do. Okay, so potentially, you know, this area here has become a bit of a box of indecision. Okay. You know, if we get a break to the downside, I think it will make its way back down to these lows, if not this grey zone. And if it breaks to the upside, there's not much room, but it will make its way back up to these highs, right? So NASDAQ, yeah, is a bit of a stay away from me at the moment. So hope that helps, Brett. Right, what else are we looking at? Hamid, how are you, Hamid? Tom, I've just sold the euro pound. Okay, all right. I'm in this trade. So yeah, I'm in this trade from yesterday. It's all about this level holding. If we look at euro pound, so I want to, you know, the trade idea is to sell this pair, right? And I'm in this trade. I actually got in this trade yesterday at this price here, 8408. Right, and my stop's up here with a view to taking price back down to these lows, right? That's the trade idea. From a H4 point of view, we just need to see these highs hold, right? And, you know, we've got 36 minutes left there, but this H4 candle is looking pretty bearish, right? We've had a nice bearish reaction at that level. All right, so things are looking good for our sell trade so far. What I would really like to see, if we go down to the H1, you can see it more clearly, is just a break at that level. Yeah, you can see I've got my alarm in here. I may even add to the trade, right, if we break this level, okay? But just this level through here, right? It's just constant support at the moment. All right, if we get another nice bearish candle, something like this, that breaks through these lows, yeah, I think, you know, this trade is looking good back down to here. All right, so we'll keep an eye on that, guys. I've got my alarms in there as well. But yeah, if we start breaking this level, I think there's a strong possibility. Well, if it breaks this level, we're wrong, right? I think we've then had a structure break, and not only a structure break on the H1, but at that point, that would be a structure break on the H4, right? That would be higher highs, and we'd be above the moving average 20. So for sellers, we really need to see this level hold. All right, so Hamid, yeah, you're probably nicely in profit as we speak. Good stuff. That's what we like to see. We like profit. Yeah, that's why we do it. What else are we looking at? Okay, so oil has had a big push lower today. All right, let's take a little look at oil. Oil's been a tricky one, right? Because, and I'm also aware that we got news coming out very shortly, guys, as well. So we'll go back to that in a minute. But if we look at oil, just look at the day chart. Yeah, it's just like bullish, massive bearish candle, right? And oil is just selling off, right? Now, at this point, right, I remember having a couple of oil trades, right? We were buying oil from here, took some profit. I think we even got in again, took some profit, right? And it made perfect sense at this point, right? We're in an uptrend, bit of sideways action, but we were like this at the moving average 20. Everything said we're going to make it back up to this 84 level, really. And then what a difference a day makes. If we go on one day, look at that, bang. Doesn't get much more bearish than that, guys, right? And then you just, it doesn't matter about trend at this point, right? I am just not interested in buying that candle, right? The market is still in an uptrend, right? There's no two ways about it. It's still in an uptrend, but I am not going to buy this candle. I am not a maniac, right? That is just so bearish, right? So, you know, let's see how this plays out. If we go back to where we are now, it's at a very interesting level, right? If this bounces off here and holds on to this low, right, I think we have a nice buying opportunity. Okay, there is a bit of a channel forming here, but maybe just up to this level here, right? But it all depends how this daily candle finishes. If it finishes as it is right now, that is a break of structure. Yeah, that is now a downtrend. So oil is really, today's daily candle is really pivotal. Right, let's have a look at US dollar, Canadian dollar. So we've got 1 minute, because I would really like to enter this trade. We've had a nice retrace here, right? I had an alarm, as you just heard, set up there. I would have even entered there and put my stop below here with a view to taking price higher. But we've got CPI, you know, and CPI could do that. It could do that. It could do absolutely nothing. Right, so we've got 30 seconds left. What would you like to talk about before the news? Talk about England. It's a shame about England not winning the final. Any Spanish viewers in? Congratulations, well done. You played very well. Any English viewers in? Commiserations. I know how you feel. So, like I said, guys, I'm not going to do the hedge, but let's imagine you put a buy and sell order here. Right, let's watch the news come out. Okay. So this is Canadian dollar weakness straight away. We'll take a look to see if this is Canadian dollar weakness or US dollar strength, because we also had US dollar news. Let me take a quick look at some of the trades. Okay, so I'm stopped out of Aussie dollar, Canadian dollar. And Canadian dollar, Swiss franc. Okay, I'll be stopped out of there. But I may re-enter this trade if we get a nice reaction. All right. However, let's have a look at other. So this is suggesting, let's go to the hourly chart. So this is suggesting US dollar strength, right? Euro, US dollar strength. And then let's compare Euro, Canadian dollar. So we know if it's Canadian dollar, okay, and we're getting Canadian dollar weakness here, right, after a spike down. So I'm going to suggest that the US dollar news was better than expected, right, and the Canadian news was worse than expected. So let's take a look. Okay, Yeah, pretty much, right? So the big important news, this was better than expected, as was this. Okay, so that's why we're seeing some US dollar strength in the market. Okay, and the Canadian dollar news was as expected, yeah, or worse than expected. So this is why we saw that Canadian dollar weakness as well. All right, so that's where we are. So let's go to Canadian. So yeah, there you go, guys. If we end up with a H1 candle that looks like this on Canadian dollar Swiss franc, I will simply re-enter this chart, right? I've already taken profit off. I will re-enter this chart. Okay. Let's see how this candle finishes. We've still got half an hour. And I was also in Aussie dollar, Canadian dollar, right? But like I say, guys, I'm hedged here. Okay. So if we get a candle that looks like this, right, I will close my hedge, right? Or if you don't use a hedge, you can re-enter this trade. This is a good setup if the candle finishes like that, right? It's a big if. We've still got, yeah, almost half an hour. So this could potentially be a good trade. If you looked at this on the H4, yeah, it's basically, you know, reacted at this level. We've got this trend line that we spoke about earlier. And then if we get a nice bullish H4 candle like this, then I think this could potentially be a good buy back up to here. All right, so we get my teeth in. We shall see. All right. I'm sure none of that news affected euro pound. Yeah, I mean, there was no real correlation there. So euro pound still looking okay. Right, so there you go, guys. That's where we're at with our trades and the Canadian dollar news. Right, let's go back to the questions. Before I do, guys, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to smash that notification button. And if everyone could please smash the like button. It really helps support the video. Thank you. Danke schön. Shukran. And guys, remember, come join our trading community, come join the free Discord. If you want my trade signals, all of my tutorials and access to me, then please come join the VIP Trading Academy. Right, what else are we looking at? So we got one here, Euro US dollar, breaking the resistance now. Okay, so let's have a look at Euro US dollar quickly for Prafish. So let's look at the day chart. So this is just one of those. As soon as I look at this day chart, I will just look at next. I won't even spend any time on this, right? And why is that? Because we are in an uptrend, okay, which means I want to buy the market. Yeah, I always trade with daily trend, but we're at resistance. If I see that, I'm like, next pair, right? As quick as that. Yeah. If I'm buying, if we see an uptrend at resistance, no trade. If we see a downtrend at support, no trade. Simple as that. Look at the next currency pair. All right. And that's the case with Euro US dollar. And also, you know, we're in an uptrend, and look at this candle. Yeah, this would suggest some US dollar strength at this level, right? We shall see. So I'm just not interested in Euro US dollar at all. I mean, let's look at the H4. I mean, there's an interesting level here, right? Because that's the last H4 level. Yeah, we've stopped making higher highs on the H4. So if we get a break of that low, I think there's some room to the downside on Euro US dollar. All right, so we shall see. But I just don't want to trade that because of the reasons I explained. Okay, what other questions have we got? Right, bouncy castle. Who doesn't like a bouncy castle? I'm 21. and I still like a bouncy castle. So good. I like your name. What is the perfect setup for you? Thanks. So the perfect setup is when all the time frames are pulling in the same direction, right? Euro pound, for example, right? Because we're selling this, right? Now, weekly downtrend, right? Bearish candle, right? Broke this low, right? So weekly tick, yeah? Daily, right? We've got, yeah, we was trying to build up and then price has broken down, downtrend, okay? Also broke that low, bearish candles, day chart, tick, right? Excuse me. It's all those biscuits I ate. I'm not happy with myself. I really did go to work on the biscuits. H4, right? When I took this trade, which was yesterday at this point, right, to sell, H4 was in a downtrend, right? So at this point, I have got weekly, daily, and H4 all pulling in the same direction, right? So this is like the perfect scenario, right? But now, as this euro pound trade has developed, it's almost found a bit of a low here, right? Now, for the perfect trade, we would like to see a break of this level, right? Because at this point, H4 will continue to be in a downtrend, and this low was nothing to worry about, right? So that would be good. And at that point, if we look at the H1, right, look at it, just keeps acting as support. But if we broke, yeah, let's say this candle finished like this, nice big red candle. At this point, we would also have a H1 downtrend if it breaks this level, right? So at that point, you would have weekly, daily, H4, excuse my writing with the mouse pen, yeah, and H1. If this scenario happened, you would have all of these pulling in the same direction. And there will be a strong possibility that price will come back down to this level. Because this is euro pound, that is not a lot of pips, right? But that's just euro pound. We can't control that. Okay, but that is what I'm looking for, right? And that won't happen that often. What will normally happen is I would have, let's say, this. I would have weekly, daily, and H1. Or I would have, daily, H4, and H1, right? And not the weekly. Yeah, so, yeah, that's what I'm looking for. So bouncy castle, I hope that answers your question. And it's just basically, it means that all price action is moving in the same direction, right? Which is ultimately what we want. Yeah, we just read the price action across multiple time frames. And if everything's pulling in the same direction, chances are we have a high probability trade. And it's as simple as that, guys. Don't overcomplicate trading. Read the charts and crunch the data that the charts give you, right? And find high probability trades. Yeah, it's as simple as that. Okay. Okay. So I hope that answers your question, Bouncy Castle. How often do you get the perfect setup? Yeah, like I just explained, Bouncy Castle, everything pulling in the same direction at the same time it's not rare, but it's not that common. But really, for me to take a trade I need enough confluence. I need enough reasons, right? If daily H4, H1 are pulling in the same direction, weekly might be in a different trend, but we have a bearish candle, that's enough, right? As long as I have enough good reasons to enter a trade, and also not too many reasons not to enter the trade, again, you will have a high probability trade. To give you an idea, you know, I probably average about 1 trade a day. Yeah. So, yeah, that gives you an idea, Bouncy Castle, of the frequency. CJ, how are you, CJ? How was Greece? Have you got a lovely tan? I hope so. Right, what else are we going to look at here? I still want to look at these CAD Swiss franc. Yeah, so I think these could be nice trades, guys. An Aussie dollar, Canadian dollar. Okay, let's sow this one. Let's see how this hourly candle finishes. Yeah, we'll keep an eye out for this. Euro pound. Okay. Yeah, well, like I say, we just want to see a break through this support level, right? Then we're going to make it down to here, right? Okay, what other questions do we have, guys? Did I miss one here? No, we've done NAS 100. Okay, guys, so if there's no more questions, yeah, everyone, please subscribe to the channel, smash the like button, really help support the vid, merci beaucoup, and we'll call it a day there, guys. So thank you, everyone, for joining me on the live stream. Really appreciate it, guys, and I'll see you same time again tomorrow for the live stream. All right, see you later, guys.